What up? What up? Welcome into another episode of Profit Picks. If you are new, we do always start the show by being transparent. And yesterday, I took a step backwards. I believe the best bet for the show was another winner with the Warriors team total under, but the Nets plus 3.5 and Heat team total under were losers. So 1 and 2 day. Got it bounced back today. How you doing here, Veno? And how was yesterday for you?
Yesterday was just blank, Skee, because I didn't have an official play, nothing for the clients. What we did here on the show, I think, was use the Bengals. And the Bengals, obviously, once Joe Burrow, and it would be nice if we knew before the game that Joe Burrow was hurt. Bengals covered that up, I guess. But OKC worked out pretty good as a recommendation here on the show. They kind of blew Golden State out. So we're back today, though. We got a couple of things we like here.
Absolutely. And we have Vino for about 15 more minutes before he has to move on to a college basketball show. So we won't talk much college basketball here, but you can catch him on his show, coming right after. And I'll let you plug that when you dip out. But we'll start in college football. Is that cool, Rob?
We could start right there, sure.
And I'm not going to be able to fix my things until this weekend. So you guys can make fun of me all you want. I'm just trying to do my homework and find winners, man. So first game that we'll have up, we'll go South Florida at UTSA. And my bad, I want to shout out the chat. I really do. I'll continue to put everybody up, but I just want to get as much as Vino as we can before he dips out. And that's how we're going to rock for today. So South Florida at UTSA. This one opened up UTSA minus 16. Seeing minus 15.5, even some 15s out there. Total open 67.5. Not much movement there. Seeing it as low as 66.5. Is this one as easy as it looks on the point spread, or do you agree with the market that UTSA shouldn't be favored by this much?
Well, first thing we'll say is, no boofer. This game isn't at Fenway Park, despite the graphics. It's in a dome in San Antonio, Alamo Dome. It's interesting, Skee. South Florida is 5-5 and playing for bowl eligibility. And so to get that sixth win, you would think, and it's first-year head coach, Alex Golesh, right? So they want to get to a bowl game with this first-year head coach. I just don't know that this is a situation. UTSA has been on an absolute tear after their bye week about 6 weeks ago. Heading into that, their quarterback, Frank Harris, didn't look right. They didn't look right. They were picked to win this conference preseason. But, boy, once he got healthy, they started to turn it on, and they did again last week. They covered another point spread, 34-14 win as 15-point favorites. So they can handle big numbers. You're going to get a lot of tempo here, though, from South Florida, the second fastest team in the nation as far as seconds per play are concerned. And they never let up. They're relentless right through to the end. Therefore, I kind of like this one over, Skee. 66 is kind of an iffy number. It's why I don't like it stronger. You can get 42-24, 45-21 common scores in blowouts, and that only makes 66, and you would be left hanging by the hook. But I think this one can make it over that number. USF has zero capability of stopping Texas San Antonio offensively tonight. Even if UTSA goes to more of a running game, they'll pick it up in chunks, and they usually do play action off of that very well. But the other side is where you're going to need your points. And I just think, again, South Florida runs at rapid pace. They're going to get off 70 to 75 snaps. They're going to throw the ball all over the lot. They'll have to protect the quarterback here because as of late, San Antonio's pass rush has picked up. But as the game wears on, and at that pace, second half, maybe an even stronger half offensively for South Florida if they can wear down the UTSA defensive line. So for me, I went ahead and played over the 66.5. Like I said, I would have played it a lot stronger if I could have got a better number. But at this price, I still think it's worth a look.
All right, you looking more towards a higher scoring game, and first of all, I want to shout out the chat because a lot of good stuff in there, and they're saying thank you for Houston first half. I didn't get to the window because that damn F1 race. I left at 2:45. I had 45 minutes to make it, and there's so much traffic I couldn't even get to the window. So I'm glad you guys could at least cash that bet. I didn't get to get it. And Rob, it's a lot of love for you in the chat. A lot of guesses on that shirt color.
Oh.
Is
This is
that aqua?
blue today. This is like light blue today.
Is that aqua? Aqua? Would that be a winner?
Nope. This one is true light blue.
I guess we got to roll it over again because I don't see a light blue in there. You kept it 31 with the aqua. But as far as your game and the handicap, um, is this one a little bit correlated? Like I see UTSA, they're playing more under games. I think they're what 3-7 or 7-3. I'm sorry, to the under so far this year. Like is it correlated? Is it if you like the underdog, you think there'll be more points scored, and if you like UTSA, it's more of an under game.
Well, I think we could, and sometimes we do this right when we handicap Skee. We see a side, and then we kind of try and justify all the liabilities or the concerns. If you're trying to justify the San Antonio unders and say, yeah, it went under, but I'll give you the games they went under this number. And they went under last week against Rice without a starting quarterback, a redshirt freshman who had barely played. So you can understand Rice not scoring. The game before, they played North Texas, offensive juggernaut, kind of like what we're going to see tonight. The North Texas game is probably comparable, and that game landed 66, which is right. We're at 66.5 tonight. East Carolina plays little to no offense. They got 68 in that game. Prior to that, Florida Atlantic, again, quarterback situation. Game stayed under. Week before that, they scored 61 against Alabama Birmingham. So they've been all around this number. I think the couple of times that they didn't get there, again, there's certain quarterback issues for the other side that didn't allow them to score points. So I think this team, South Florida being even faster and having a bad offensive week last week, probably bounces back with enough. They're the key to the whole thing, Skee. In all honesty, you need 23 or 24 out of South Florida to get there in this game. Carolina Blues pretty close.
Fair enough. Hey, Rob, I'm saying I never knew there were this many shades of blue. I think I'm kind of blue in the chat now. But, good.
I would say Carolina Blues kind of close.
They're getting it down. I got to be more specific with my colors. I didn't even know it was colors.
Yeah, we can't just say blue.
But good stuff on South Florida. Let's talk a little NBA before I gotta let you go, Rob. Is that cool?
Yeah,
get off of the baseball field and
bring back the Sonics.
The Sonics, yeah. All right, we'll go in rotation order like we usually do. And for you guys, if you didn't hear me earlier, Rob will be on college basketball and Wager Talk. He will, you can go check him out when he dips off of this show, if you would like. First game up. Why is that not? There we go. I have the ticker on these at the bottom just in case, because I know you got to go. But 521, 522, Milwaukee and Charlotte. This one opened up Bucks minus 7.5. I'm looking at a 7-point favorite. Total open 236, and we're looking at 239.5. Injury report. I'm going to hit the refresh button, but I do see Giannis as game time decision. Beauchamp, game time decision. Crowder out, Livingston out for Charlotte. Hayward, game time. Brandon Miller, game time. They'll be without Book Knight, Cody Martin, Ntilikina, and Terry Rozier. If I'm not mistaken, this is the game where Bridges is supposed to come back and play. And if he does, I think that's a big boost for Charlotte just because we know how good he was for his team whenever he was on the court. A couple of his teammates I talked about, they can't wait for him to get out there and show everybody how he looks. So I think they'll want to play hard for him in that regard. They do have a game tomorrow versus New York. Milwaukee also plays tomorrow versus Dallas. So I think both back-to-backs kind of cancel each other out. I would lean maybe more towards the home team in this one, plus the 7 points. You know how I feel, Rob. I'm not really going to the window to lay anything with the Bucks versus anybody. I know they won that last game by a big margin, but show me some consistency before I start to believe it. So would you agree with me? The Hornets are the right side. Do you agree with the market? It should be an over game, or how are you looking at it?
Yeah, I think, first of all, that Charlotte injury report is just loaded with shooting guards and wings. And every single one of those guys plays either the 2 or the 3. Man, Rozier's a point guard, which we know Rozier hurts to lose him. The perimeter might be a little weak for Charlotte here tonight. However, as you pointed out a zillion times, the perimeter defense where Damian Lillard is concerned and the Bucks is non-existent. So you almost could stick a couple guys in there and get their share of points. I'm more interested, Skee. The other night I had that Milwaukee game over without Giannis. right? And it did go over. It got to 128, and Damian Lillard scored 37. And I just had this thought in my mind that without Giannis on the court, maybe he felt freer to just go ahead and green light it and go. And maybe with Giannis on the court right now, he's deferring a little bit too much. Until they get that right, I'd have to lean with you. You can't lay 7 points on the road with Milwaukee, especially with a bigger game on deck. I'm sure they treat that Dallas game tomorrow a lot more importantly than they do this one. And that would still beg the question, will Giannis even play tonight? Or will they save him for a marquee game tomorrow night? He's probably not going to go back to back. So I think, process of elimination, I think Charlotte's the better selection here. I don't know that I like the game all that much unless you're looking at total, because the over, I think when I was on with you the other day, I don't have these numbers in front of me right this second, but I know you quoted a bunch of numbers that Charlotte had given up that were big numbers. They haven't stopped anybody basically defensively. So we could get to an over here in this game. Unfortunately, that over shot up 3 or 4 points just on the basis that Giannis might play. Imagine if he does play, it'll go up another 3 points. So I think I lean Charlotte, but maybe even better, a little total action in this one.
So could you maybe, put those two together and look to our Charlotte team total over? Looking
I
at
think
that,
you could.
you're looking at a 115.5 or 116. I think that's definitely worth a look. Or maybe you go that route, or because both teams are on the front end of a back to back, you just go with the first half over at 117. I couldn't talk you off either one of those looks, but I just feel like I like the Hornets a little bit more here at the house, getting their guy back in the lineup. Um, that's what I prefer. But I like your looks too. Let's move on a little bit, see if we could touch maybe one more game before we got to dip off. And that will be 523, 524, New York and Washington. This one opened -6.5 for New York. We're now seeing sevens pretty much across the board. Total opened up 227.5 and not much movement at all. Injury report buried his game time decision along with Grimes. And for Washington, they'll be without DeLon Wright. So I'm gonna toss this one straight to you, Rob. And only thing I'm really looking at is a rebound prop for New York. New York does play Charlotte tomorrow, so that worries me as far as playing props in case they take some of these guys out. But either Julius Randle double or Robinson over 11.5 rebounds will be ways I look against a team that's the worst rebounding team in the league the last 5. How do you feel about New York versus Washington?
Yeah, I don't know that I would like New York here, Skee. Halfway, because of the reason you mentioned, there's a back-to-back tomorrow, and they've really exerted themselves in that 116, 114 against Atlanta the other night. That game came right down to the wire. But then again, I see a little bit of a decline in this Washington offense, right? Until the second half against Dallas, they weren't really scoring at all. Their overall numbers for the game look nice. 117, 48% from the field, 33% from three. That looks pretty good, but it wasn't that way for a while in that game. That would have been, I'll go back to and say 2.5 games where they didn't play the type of offense that they were playing earlier, which is a little bit concerning because they don't play enough defense to not shoot. I mean, if they don't shoot, they'll get beat. They got beat by 13 the other night. They don't stay in games with their defense. So, you make counter arguments here, right? I'm making an argument against the Knicks, an argument for the Knicks, which usually keeps me off a game. I would love to be able to say, go ahead and play over here with the Washington team total, but it hasn't worked 3 times straight now. So until they get that right, maybe the odds maker just adjusted Washington too much too fast, and betting them over as a team isn't the right way to go at this point. We'll see how serious the Knicks take it. The Knicks actually could win both of these back-to-backs. They're very winnable, both ends of it, and maybe that's the way they'll approach it. I don't know that I have a lot of desire to get to the window with anything in this game, to tell you the truth.
Well, I know you don't like the over. And I'm looking at the numbers for last 5 game stats. Washington is playing up tempo. They're 5th, but they're number 11th as far as defensive rating. Offensive rating is 25th. And surprisingly, New York is number 2 in offensive rating the last 5 games, but they're dead last in pace. So I can see it. I mean, I would lean a little bit more towards an under game, but I don't think I'll be getting involved in this one. Rob, I think it's about that time. So we only talked about 3 games. Is there anything you like out the 3 games you would like to give out? And is there anything you would like to promote?
Yeah, first let me promote real quick. Going to be on Wager Talk's college basketball show today. Goes off in about 10 minutes live, but you can catch it all day long. I wouldn't interrupt Skee here. Go ahead and stick with what you're doing, and then come catch us later on for best bets in college hoop. I'll be talking Kansas State, Providence, and oh goodness, I can't even remember the second game I sent in, but a couple of best bets over there as well. So you can catch it on Wager Talk TV. And if you're interested in college football, I'll be on right after that on the Wager Talk College Football Show. So you get two chances: college hoops, college football, both of them. Wager Talk, all my selections. Again, big weekend coming here, and of course Thanksgiving weekend next week. So if you're interested in selection packages, just head over to Wager Talk. I know Skee's got all the information over there in the description. For today, Skee, let me just leave you with this. I'm going to talk about it in a couple of minutes, but I'll leave it with the audience here real fast. Kansas State, Providence. I'm trying under 146 in that game for multiple reasons that I'll discuss on the show. So again, go ahead and catch it. But I do think, Kansas State, it's a contrast in styles. Obviously, Providence slow, KSU fast. Providence new head coach. It's not Ed Cooley anymore, but they seem to be going in the same direction that they were with him under Kim English. Very slow, methodical team, defense-oriented, two-point shooting-oriented, et cetera, et cetera. I'll get more in-depth over there. But again, I think Kansas State and Providence, for purposes of the show here, under 146 will be my best bet.
All right, great stuff there, Rob. And like you said, you guys can check out his show. He's dipping off to. It'll be available all day long on wagertalk.com. Appreciate you, coming on here with me, Rob. I'll catch you again next week.
Have a good weekend, buddy. Take care, chat. Have a good weekend, everybody. Cash some tickets.
All right, always good to have my guy Rob there. Let me try to catch up a little bit here. I think we're done with this game, but let me see what the chat has to say as well. So gotta scroll up a little bit, or a lot of bit. How about that? Rick White likes New York first half. That's been a pretty consistent thing. And with them on the front end of a back-to-back, I think if you like the New York side, you get in and get out before they maybe get a little bit tired there. See if I can get my head not cut off there. All right. Let's see. We will go through every game, or at least I will go through every game, so don't worry. Sean Evans says Mitch Robinson is a play, as I'll be there as a witness. Pull under 5.5 assists. Yeah, I was leaning towards Mitch over 11.5 rebounds. Just had 15 versus Atlanta. I think he could definitely, do it again. Just the front end of a back-to-back worries me. Do they manage his minutes, or what happens with that? Bill McDonald says, like last year, Knicks first half. Saturated is liking Gafford on his rebounds or Knicks first half. Well, the Knicks are the number one rebounding team. I don't know why you specifically want to go for Gafford against that matchup, but Knicks first half, I think I would agree with. Munaf likes Knicks team total. That one, I don't know if I really love Munaf. Can't lie. Front end of it back-to-back. Wizards playing a little bit better defense. Knicks playing slowest pace in the league. You'd have to tell me about that one. JT, hopefully I said that right. JT, new member, but following for 3 to 4 years. Keep up the good work. I appreciate you becoming a member, and I appreciate you, watching and supporting my work and my channel. So much appreciated, bro. And I'll have something for my members today, a little bit later today. Just want to show up my looks, and I'll have something for you guys. Brian is agreeing with Robinson over 11.5 rebounds. Atachi sharing a trend here. Since last season, road phase facing a conference opponent on the first game of a back-to-back, where the second is also a road game. 23-10 to the under. That's about 69.7%. Appreciate you sharing that. Another new member, Bryce Miller. Appreciate you becoming a member, and you'll see something a little bit later today on there. Appreciate you. Let's see. Vaughn likes the Knicks third quarter over. Says Wizards have at least 60 in 10 of 11 games, both top 10 in offensive rating and scoring last 5 and third quarters. That's interesting. Specific third quarter bet. C-Boogie says no Randall double-double. I was leaning that way. I said it in the beginning of the breakdown. It's between him or Mitchell Robinson. They're both on my short list. I don't want to do both, especially on the front end of the back-to-back. I think one of them hits. Mitchell Robinson over 11.5 rebounds or Randall double-double. Just trying to decide which one I like better. Next first quarter I'm seeing there. And Jordan Quinn says it's Hornets +7 and official. It's not as of right now, but I'm pretty sure I'll be playing it today. And right now I see a 7.5 available at Circa and DraftKings and BetOnline. So I'll be grabbing the best of the number if I do get involved, and we'll see. I might get involved by the end of the show, but I like it right now. I like it enough for 1 unit bet. Honestly, I'm gonna tell you guys, I like to try. Like my process is, I wake up, I go through the game. Some games I like the night before already, but I'll put my big plays in, and I keep going through the rest of the games, and I kind of like to have an idea of how many games I'm gonna play, so I can manage my units I'm putting out for the day. So even though I may like a game, I haven't put it in yet. It doesn't mean I won't bet it. All right, let's keep going. Next game up, we will go 525, 526, Detroit and Cleveland. This game opened Cleveland -10. They're a 9-point favorite. Total opened up 224.5, and it's down about 4 points to 220.5. Injury report for these teams. Both Mitchell and Garland game time decision here. Jerome, Okoro, and Rubio will all be out. For Detroit, Bagley's game time decision. They'll be without Bogdanovich, Duran, Harris, Livers, and Monty Morris. A lot of people on the injury report for this one, and I'm not gonna lie, this is not one of the games I was most interested in. Um, Detroit not playing a whole lot of defense. You could potentially be missing a whole lot of offense for this Cleveland's team. I think I would agree with the total. Like if you miss any of those guys, whether it's Garland or Mitchell, it's definitely going to take a hit towards the offense. And I just worry about that Pistons defense. So I don't want to waste anybody's time here. We have more than enough games. This is not one I will be putting my money on. So we can go ahead and throw this one away right now. But I will take a look at the chat and see if there's anything you guys like that may be worth putting a play on. Let's see if you guys can talk me into something for this game really quick. Don't see anything, but I see a comment from Dan Kelly that I'll mention. Skee, I just got up here. I hope you already talked about the fact that a few teams have a big motivation to run up the score tonight because of the in-season tournament. That's also a reason why I'm pumping the brakes, just because I mean, I enjoy this competition thing, but I just don't know exactly how it's going to go because of the in-season tournament. You've absolutely been locked into that, Dan Kelly. So everything you have to say, I would love to hear. Let's see. Trent says, I wagered big money. Skee don't know how to play that piano in the background. You'd be surprised. My grandmother taught me when I was young. I might not remember everything, but I know a little something. All right, we'll keep going. Let's not waste time on this game. Better games on the board. Starting with the next one. And you guys already asked in the chat for me to go, through this game because of the line movement. I'm going through every game though. But this one, it says Celtics heading into Toronto to take on the Raptors. Opened up -7. That's what I see here. We now see 8.5, even a 9 popping up for the Celtics. Total open 219.5. And right now we're looking at either 223.5 or 224. Injury report for both of these teams. For the Celtics, I'm seeing Jaylen Brown game time decision, but he did go through shoot around this morning compared to last game when he did not, so he's more towards probable. Porzingis did go through shoot around, but he's a true game time decision with that. I think it was a bruised knee or whatever they called it. How Horford is also game time decision, but he's more likely to play here. For Toronto, looks like Gary Trent will be back in the lineup. He's listed as probable. And Nobi is unlikely. They'll be without Koloko, and they'll be without Thaddeus Young. So the first thing that pops in my mind, and I want to mention it, my boy Nucky, he's from Canada. He follows his Raptors pretty close. He came here the other day when they played the Bucks and said that the Raptors won't care about that game. They care about the game on Friday against Boston. And it didn't look like they cared about that last game versus the Bucks at all. It looked like he was right. So I'm interested to see how they come out in this one. I know division games are important. And because of all that, this is how I view the game. So I'll start off with this. The opening number for this game was 219.5. And if you know these teams just played like a week ago. And I think that total on that game was more like 222 or 223, something like that. So for them to open it lower, that tells me that the odds makers expect it to be a lower scoring game. And it being a division game, I think that makes it even stronger just because of how serious they take it. Four of the last five for Boston have gone under. I don't really, and also for the over and under, I don't really care. I think it's only gone up just because Jalen Brown and Porzingis went through shoot around, or they think that they can play. But I would argue, both of those guys, they make the same difference for the defense. So I still like that. You have Boston the last five games playing second slowest pace. Last four of the last five meetings for these teams have gone under. If you look at, eight of the last nine have stayed under this number if you exclude the overtime games. So as long as you don't get overtime in this one, regardless of who plays, I think it's a lower scoring game. I'm on the under in this one, and I would be leaning a little bit towards Toronto just because it's a pretty hefty number, and I know that they're going to get up for this game. That's my thought process here. Let's take a look at what you guys like in this one. Mario says Celtics first quarter is a winner. I usually like that play, or I mean, I've had success when I played it so far this season, but I don't specifically like it in this game. Let's take a couple more. S. Warrior also likes Celtics first quarter. Collins Clips took the Celtics minus 7.5. Bill McDonald is looking at Scotty Barnes PRA. Can't talk you off of that. Maybe you look at towards his rebounds a little bit more, but not mad at that play. A lot of shout outs for Celtics first quarter. Sean says if no Jalen Brown, he'll lean towards Derek White points. Solid pivot. Let's see. Vaughn says he likes the look that I gave towards the under. Everybody's liking Celtics earlier. Anthony's asking if we play the Celtics early and then play Raptors live. That could be a decent way to play it. If you like the Celtics first quarter, absolutely a look. I like the Celtics. I like the Raptors on the spread. I didn't bet it yet, but I like it. We'll keep going. That's enough for this game. I told you what I'm on, what I like. We'll keep moving. We have a lot more games today. 5:29, 5:30. That will be Philadelphia and Atlanta. This game opened as a pick'em, or it opened as a pick'em, and we're still seeing a pick'em. I did see +1 for a moment, I guess, when I made this banner, but it's a pick'em right now. Total open 234.5, and we're looking at 236 as the consensus. Injury report for Philly. Embiid is game time decision. They'll be without Batum and Oubre. For the Hawks, all the usual suspects are in the lineup. This game was I was going back and forth here. I think I agree with the line movement towards the over. I know the Hawks going to play with pace. If I look at last five game stacks, they're ranked sixth, and the Sixers are 11th. Both teams are bottom five defensive rated teams within that span, and both teams' offense is just better than the defense lately. So if they play up tempo, which I think they will, which Philly's comfortable with, I could definitely see this one going over. As far as who wins, I just look at recent performance. Sixers have been playing really damn good. I don't know why the spread is this close, but because the spread is close, I feel like they're begging you to take the Sixers in this one, and I don't like when I feel like they're begging me to take a play. So I lean a little bit more towards the over. It's hard for me to see how the Sixers lose straight up, but I won't have it in my pocket. If I do get involved in this game, it's over 236. Let's see. Requires as long as Embiid plays, he's on the Sixers. I mean, maybe that's why it's a pick him just because he's not playing, or he's game time. I guess I get it, but I would only look towards the Sixers here. Don't know how to say this name, but he says Trae Young double versus 76ers tonight. He's had success versus Sixers before, so I'm not mad at that play. Bryce Miller likes Capella over 8.5 rebounds. If Embiid doesn't play, that'll turn into a really great look. So maybe getting ahead of the curve with that one. Gabe gets buckets asked, what do I use for up-to-date injury reports? On Twitter, I follow Underdog NBA, and when I'm looking on a computer here, I use RotoWire. Lingo Wick says Hawks money line love Atlanta after a loss to bounce back. So maybe they're the hungrier team here. I don't feel confident enough to take the side. Boofer saying Philly away 2-1, Atlanta at home 4-1 to the over. Backing up the overlook there. Some team trends so far this season. EQ says everything is telling me Sixers get smacked upside the head tonight. Yeah, I feel like they're begging me to take the Sixers, so I can't disagree. Maybe Embiid is going to sit in this one. Facts Mob says Trae Young hasn't scored over 25 and a half, but twice all season. Not the best defenders on the other side defensively. So he can get it, but I get what you're saying. He hasn't been getting it lately. And Andrew Will says he's leaning Hawks first half. What do I think of that? I have no reason to like it first half more than the full game. You'd have to tell me why. I have no reason specifically to like that. Daniel saying time for Let's Cap University with UCapper. Yeah, UCapper is going live, and I'll hop on over there if he's still live when I finish my show. Shout out to my boy UCapper. And let's keep it going. Let's get through our show so we can go hop on over there and link up with him. So next game up, we will go 531, 532, Sacramento and San Antonio. This game opened up Sac minus 5.5. We are seeing minus 8.5 now. Total opened up 232.5, and it's everybody's loving this thing. It's up to 238. So injury report, and let me hit refresh. For Sacramento, they'll be without Alex Lynn and Trey Lyles. For San Antonio, Trey Jones is game time decision. And I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know how to say his last name. His first name is Sandro for the Spurs. He's likely to play. Vassell will be out. Um, San Antonio does have a game tomorrow versus Memphis. Think you can note that. And it's very hard for me to understand why this game even opened 5.5 for Sacramento. I was out at dinner last night and I just wanted to finish doing my homework. I don't want to make a play when I'm out drinking and eating. But I was liking Sacramento. They're clearly the better offensive rated, defensive rated rebounding team than San Antonio on the season and the last 5 games. With Fox back, everybody can get much easier shots. And then being on the front end of a back to back, it makes me think if they're getting blown out, they'll just wave the white flag. So whether you take Kings first half full game, I think they are the right side here. Spurs playing up tempo, not playing defense. I do trust the Kings to play a little bit of defense in this matchup, so maybe lean a little bit more towards Kings team total, but I know it will be sky high. So only way I can look is towards the Kings in this one. Player props, I didn't really dig too deep. So let's take a look at the chat, see what you guys are looking at in this one. And before we do that, Dan Kelly giving us some info about the in-season tournament just to help us out here. It says the second tiebreaker after head-to-head is point differential. Teams that have a good reason, $500,000 each to run up the score equals New York, Milwaukee, Sac, Denver, and New Orleans. Orlando and Chicago, Lakers, Utah, Houston. Interesting. It says every point will count to these teams, even if they lose, so they won't be letting the clock run out at the end of the game. Be careful taking unders with these teams. I appreciate you sharing, Dan Kelly. That's great information. Much appreciated. Dwight likes the Kings. JB Brown likes the Kings first half. Boofer on that last game coming to get some stats says Philly on the road 0-3, Atlanta 1-4. First half ATS, don't like either one. Still appreciate you sharing the trends. Dylan says might be a good trifecta look for Sacramento. Definitely can't talk you off. Manny likes the over. Star Trout says he wants to lean Spurs. Still, he leans the first half over. Saturated wants to go back to Fox points. I don't think there's much resistance, or I still think he can get his versus anybody really in the league. So I'm not mad at that play. Free Sports Pick says if Vassell is out, King's gonna smash. Yeah, it's not a whole lot on the other side to keep up offensively. They're the worst offensive rated team in the last 5 games. The Spurs are. So I agree. Justin did take that Kings team total over at 123.5. Pretty large, but Spurs can give it up. JB Brown says, smash the like button. 300 people in here. Yeah, if you guys enjoyed the show, I'm helping you guys win some money. It does help me out if you could hit the like button. Much appreciated. Hitachi sharing a trend here, going back to 2001. Says home dogs playing a non-division conference opponent when the line is greater than 8, following a 30-point blowout loss. They're 11 and 22 against the spread, 33.3%. So that would be the Spurs here. Says to fade them once again. Appreciate you sharing, Itachi. Joe likes a bonus 20 points plus 110. Don't have any reason to talk you off there. Boofer says Spurs can't finish a game. They're 1-10 in the second half ATS, 3-8 straight up. So maybe something to look for if they are competitive in the first half, because they have a game tomorrow against Memphis too. So if we like Sacramento, we like them on a full game more than the first half. And that was on my short list here. So it's another play I'm going to get there with, I'm pretty sure, along with the Hornets. I just plays I think I really have to take, and we'll decide. You guys in the chat, I'm still deciding between Robinson double double and Mitchell rebounds. Let me know which one you guys like a little bit more while I think about it and continue the show. Let's see. Vaughn says Kings team total in the third quarter. He likes those third quarter bets. Says Spurs have allowed 31 or more every third quarter. Appreciate you sharing that. D Jones says first half team total. I mean, we just heard that the Spurs kind of melt in that second half. So why not include the second half? Fred asks, how do you feel about beginning/end of homestand/road trips? I care more about, I do feel strongly about when you return home from a long road trip. I think that's a pretty flat spot. I don't really look at homestands too much. I look at how they performed at home versus when they're going on the road, but that doesn't make me feel any way compared to the road trip. I feel stronger about the road trips. And people coming in the chat saying Robinson. So I was leaning actually that way a little bit more, and it's better price. Randall double double was I think closer to 140. So I'm rocking with that. I like that Mitchell rebounds. Seems like a solid look there. Let's keep moving. And more people coming in saying they prefer that Robinson prop. So we're probably gonna rock with that as long as I can get it in right after the show. We still have 5 more games left. So let's see if we can find some more money on the card. 533, 534. Denver and New Orleans. This game opened up Nuggets -4. They're now 5.5 point favorite. Total opened up 223.5. It's gone up 2 points to 225.5. For the injury report, Kankar and Jamal Murray will be out for the Pelicans. Alvarado is game time decision, but he's doubtful. Not quite ready to come back, it doesn't look like yet. CJ is out. Trey Murphy is out, and Larry Nash Jr. out for these Pelicans. I don't really see a whole lot of reasons to like the Pelicans in general right now. They've been banged up. They haven't been playing the best. They play again tomorrow versus Minnesota. And just looking at how Denver's been playing in comparison, Denver top 5 offensive and defensive rated team the last 5 games, and they've been a better rebounding team than the Pelicans. So only way I can think is to play the Nuggets here, and I wouldn't even like to take them early just because Pelicans are on the front end of a back-to-back. So if Nuggets do get some sort of lead, or regardless, if the Pelicans decide to save minutes for tomorrow, Nuggets could take advantage at the end of the game. So lean Nuggets. Probably not going to bet this game, so I won't waste too much time. But I'll take a look at the chat, and I don't think the chat likes this game too much either. So we can keep moving. Been on here about 40 minutes. We have 4 more games left. I think I do have stronger opinions about at least a couple of these games. So Vaughn likes Aaron Gordon over 11.5 rebounds plus assists. Interesting look. When is CJ McCollum back? I'm not sure. He had that collapsed lung. I'll click his name and see if it gives us some updated information. It says he's progressing in recovery. That's last updated on November 8th. That was a while ago. So I'm not quite sure when they expect him to come back. Can't tell you. We'll move over. Jamal says Denver doesn't play good on the road. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I'm going to check. We'll check that. Do you mean ATS? Do you mean win-loss? Because I feel like they still win games. Let's take a look here. Denver's 1-3 ATS on the road. So you're right about that. -5 is pretty much just asking to win, though. So I'm not going to be involved regardless. I mean, I'm not a fan of the Pelicans. They're not getting my money right now. I don't care what anybody says. Pelicans are not getting my money right now. Dan Kelly likes the over in this game. Next game, we will go 535, 536. Magic versus the Bulls. This game opened up Bulls -1. They're now 2.5-point favorite, even at 3 popping up now. Total open 216.5 and is down to 215.5. Injury report for Orlando. Suggs is game time. They'll be without Wendell Carter Jr. and Markelle Fultz. For Chicago, looks like DeRozan is game time here, along with Caruso. But Caruso is more like probable. Terry will be out for the Chicago team. So I feel a couple different ways about this game here. First, I'll start and say that this Chicago team has a lot going on right now. This could likely be blown up extremely soon. So that makes me nervous when thinking about doing anything to back Chicago. Orlando has been really good as far as first half ATS. So if you like them, it makes me think I'd like to continue to, ride the wave and get in and get out. The thing I don't like about the Bulls is they play again tomorrow versus Miami. So if it wasn't for that, I might try to get there. And Bryce Miller says Magic first half. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But if it wasn't for them playing tomorrow, I would probably try to get there with the Bulls. I agree with Free Sports Picks. He says Bulls revenge spot. You look at home favorites that lost the previous matchup as a favorite within 4 days during the regular season. They are 11-28 straight up. What is that? About 79.9%, something like that. 82-53 against the spread, 60.7%. That says to play the Bulls. Now, if they're on the front end of a back-to-back, they're still 12-7, 63.2% straight up, but they're 50-50 ATS, 10-9. But this spread is pretty much asking you to just win with the Bulls. So I still think they're the right side. They were something I was thinking about here today. I'm kind of stuck because I was thinking Orlando first half, Bulls full game. Maybe take a shot with a prop like that. But I think even more so, I think the Bulls care more about today than tomorrow versus Miami. I think they want to get a little bit of get back versus Orlando. At the same time, we have this in-season tournament, and I've heard Banchero say how much he wants to take it seriously. So I didn't quite get there yet. Like I said, I'm in between first half, Magic, and full game Bulls. Let's see what the chat is like in a little bit here. Let's see if they can help me out. Let's see, Bulls -2 in an overnight revenge spot. Lit Picks is agreeing. SK also says Chicago revenge spot, avoiding the Magic first half with the tourney comp revenge. Let's see, we're thinking the same facts mob likes Magic first quarter. First class agency likes Bulls -2.5. Thugs being out will impact Magic backcourt a bit since Bulls is still out too. Good call. Maybe we see an under type game there. This one did open 216.5 down to 215.5. I mean, both top 10 defensive rated teams the last 5 games, both bottom 10 shooting the 3 on the season. Do we go? I mean, neither team playing with pace. 22nd and 18th in pace. I'm feeling like, if Suggs is out and we have Fultz out too, missing, a couple of starting guards like that, it's going to mess up the offense for them. And it looks like both teams have been, I know Orlando's been great defensively all year, but Chicago's playing defense right now, is what the stats say. So the under is rather interesting. I'm actually going to put that on my short list here too. Under between 216 is the best number. 215.5 is the best number I can get. So between the under and the Bulls, maybe even both. I'll get to the window with, but I'm liking. DeRozan could also be out. Fernando back to back. DeRozan after taking a personal day off, plus 25 points at plus value. See Magic 9-1 first quarter, last 10. Appreciate you sharing that. Boofer says, does anyone on the Bulls care about the in-season tourney? They won't be there. That's a good point, Boofer. Very good point. T's like in Bulls first quarter, kind of the opposite of what people like in here. The GOAT reminding everybody to hit that like button if you guys enjoy the show. Dan Kelly says the total is 215. The other night, neither team hit 100. In-season tourney says Orlando team total over. One of the games that Dan Kelly said be careful with backing and under, right? So got to keep that in mind. Troy says both teams third game in 4 nights. I don't think it's third game in 4 nights for Chicago, but I do think it's third game in 4 nights for Orlando. Tomorrow will be third game in 4 nights for Chicago, but I don't think this game is. Anthony says 30% of viewers have hit the like. That's embarrassing. And like, do your job. Hey, I appreciate the chat, man. Y'all always looking out. Y'all my boys, man. Appreciate y'all. Saturated, not a Bulls fan. Not liking what he's seeing. Eric Jones says 17-3 under spot in this Bulls game. Dan Kelly says, do not take under. I just told you, both these teams have a good reason to run up the score. What do you think about that comment that says none of these Bulls players will be there? Do they really even care? And Steve Stevens says he doesn't think they do care for the Raptors. Siakam said he doesn't care about the tourney either. Guess it's a matter of opinion. Vucevic double-double or over 11.5 rebounds was a shout out here. Not a play I'll be on. I got to make decisions here. Under or Bulls? There's one more thing I'd like to look at. Saturated says, even if the Bulls care, they suck. Let me pull one thing up on my for this game. So I did already drop. I mean, I swear I saw it open 218.5. I think I have to play the under. Regardless what I like for the side, this is what I'm going to do. I was leaning first half Magic. I was leaning full game Bulls. I don't like the thing with, the trade stuff that's going on with the Bulls. I don't know if they really care about what's going on today. I like to think they do. The one thing that's for certain is the Bulls and Magic have been playing good defense. Another thing that's for certain, they're both bottom 10 3-point shooting teams. Another thing that's for certain is they're both playing really slow right now. So we're not going to play the Bulls, but we will play the under. How about that? For process of elimination. Not mad at the Bulls too, but if I have to choose one, I think that's the one that I have to go with. Because if DeRozan is out, I don't really like the Bulls anymore. And if the Bulls lose when I bet them, I'll be upset with myself. So I'm just not going to put myself in that situation. Dan Kelly, I hear what you're saying. That it should be a situation for them to score. Orlando hasn't been the team to score all year long, and they're not scoring right now. They're bottom 5 offensive rated team, and if they're missing both of their point guards, they're going to have to win this game with defense. It just is what it is. Some teams just aren't capable. I mean, they're capable on some nights. Maybe this could be a night, but we'll see. I like the under. Dan Kelly likes Orlando team total over. Regardless, I appreciate your insight and I appreciate you sharing, Dan Kelly. So, let's keep going. Or let me look at a couple comments. I'm interested in what's going on here. Kong's clip says, I understand your look, Dan Kelly, but can you honestly put your money on trusting him to get right with all things going on in the locker room right now? All right, let's keep going here. Next game up will be, we have 3 games left. Been on here close to 50 minutes. 537, 538, Phoenix and Utah. I think this one will be rather short. But Phoenix opened up -5. They're now 5.5 point favorite. Total opened up 236.5. We're looking at 237 as the consensus number. Injury report. And let's hit the refresh button because I feel like I just saw something pop up with Devin Booker. I might be mistaken. Okay. Don't see him on the injury report. Eubanks, game time decision, but likely. Bradley Beal, game time decision, unlikely to play. Damian Lee, out. Utah still without Walker Kessler. So for myself in this one, it's hard to see, reasons why I don't back the Suns here. They've been better in all the categories that I care about the last 5 games: offensive rating, defensive rating, rebound percentage, and like just outside of them being on the road, what reason is there to back Utah here? So it's just a lean. It's honestly not a game I'm going to get to the window with, but the line seems a bit short. I feel like Phoenix is more than capable of winning by this margin. That's just what I feel like. So Suns are nothing for me. Let's take a quick look at what the chat's saying. They are not fans of Bradley Bill. Dan Kelly, same can be said about you, my friend. Respect your work, bro. Eric Jones likes the Suns. JB Brown likes the Suns first half and full game. Dwight says Booker's back. Phoenix easy. Matt Porter letting us know Bill will be out for 3 weeks. Interesting. Nets bets likes the Kings -7 and likes the Suns -5. 2 smash spots for him. Says KD already beat these Jazz by 22 when KD was alone. Suns 0-1 in the tournament. Jazz 2-0. It's a smash spot. Kings run. San Antonio 29th. D off the floor. Appreciate you sharing. Rant says bad matchup for Jazz. Suns probably cover. I lean towards the Jazz. I lean towards the Suns here. My bad. But again, it won't be a game I get involved with. I like my guy Nets bets on the Suns though because he's been pretty hot. Caleb asks, can we trust Phoenix now? I think I'm ready to. I like some things that I was seeing from them. Um, I feel like I am too, honestly. I can't lie. So it's a way that I lean. I guess I got to just think about. Let me just double check. I want to make sure because sometimes it says on this site Phoenix opened up 2.5, but on this one 5.5. I just like to look at this sometimes. I'm probably just gonna wait and see one more game. You know, if they do win this one by margin, obviously the market will adjust, but we'll know for sure what we're getting from Phoenix, regardless on the road or at home. So I do think we start to trust them, though. It does feel that way. I'll put them on my short list, but again, I still don't feel like I'll get there by the end of the day. We have a lot of hours, though. Maybe I will, maybe I will not. As of right now, more towards will not. We'll move over. I want to get through the rest of the card. I'm probably gonna miss my guys, but see if I can still get there and make it over there. And then to get something to eat before I get on wager talk. Hopefully. So 539, 540, Lakers and Portland. This game opened up Lakers -7.5. They're now 8.5 point favorite. Total opened 222.5. We're looking at 223.5. Even 224 is popping up there. Injury report for the Lakers. Usual suspects are on there. LeBron, AD, game time decisions. AD more likely to play than LeBron. Hood is out. Vanderbilt out. Vincent out. For Portland, they'll be without Brogdon. They'll be without Scoot. They'll be without Anthony Simons. My personal opinion, no way in hell am I laying these kind of points with the Lakers right now until they show me some kind of consistency. At the same time, they seem to play these tournament games better than other games. And if they can take advantage of anybody, I think it'll be this Portland team that is a little bit banged up. So lean towards Lakers. Wouldn't put your money on it. Wouldn't put anybody's money on it. I'm just gonna watch as a fan, but that's who I think is the right side, and not gonna be getting involved. Not doing that to myself tonight with all these games on the board to make money from. So I watch as a fan for Lakers in Portland. Um, Rand says Lakers still have no shooters. JB Brown likes Lakers first half. I mean, they do care about the tournament game, but Lakers haven't been good in the first half. Itachi said that if you know you know trend, but with the over since last season is 29, 15, and 0, 65.9%. He's liking a little bit something here. Liking a little bit of something here. Was it this over or was it the last over? Who played within a week? I don't remember if Portland played the Lakers. Honestly, you guys, I'm gonna be 100% honest. The Lakers, I just feel like I've been so pathetic. I don't even like. They're not even trying most of the nights. Why should I even trust them? And this one is active on the Laker game. I just checked. Like I don't even want to watch them. That's how bad I feel about the Lakers. Like I don't have confidence in them at all. I don't even enjoy watching the games right now until they start to act like they care. So, Hitachi, give me some reasons why this one isn't over, and I appreciate you sharing that. The market slightly agrees. It's been moving up. Pace wise, Lakers are seventh the last 5 games. Portland, though, the second worst offensive rated team. But the market thinks Lakers run up the score. And I'm gonna correlate this to Dan Kelly. Tell me if I'm wrong. Weren't the Lakers on that list of teams that would want to run up the score based on the tournament? I'm trying to scroll up and find it, but I think I'll be scrolling forever. Um, but I'm pretty sure Lakers were on that list of teams. So I apologize. Between it between Itachi's trend and Dan Kelly and how the Lakers have been playing up tempo lately, and me just already thinking that the Lakers care more about the tournament. I'd say LeBron plays, Anthony Davis plays, and the Lakers win this one by margin. Mostly, not because they're playing defense. They're a bottom 10 defensive rated team. Rick White says Lakers team total over might be the play. Good call out. Let's take a look at what that is. Because we don't really want to trust Portland's offense, right? 116 and a half. 116 is what we see pretty much everywhere. This one's interesting. I'm gonna need a little bit more time to think about it, but I will put it on my list. Lakers team total over 116, or just Lakers Portland over the 220. Was it 223 and a half? Dan Kelly says he just posted it above. So let me see if I can find it. Just posted above. Let me scroll a little bit. It's a lot of comments in here, Dan Kelly. I know you posted a little bit earlier. I'm trying to find it here. Yeah. It says do not take that under. I think this is about to make some money. So I'm gonna scroll till I find what I'm looking for. I really need to know. I'm not getting there though. So I might have to give it up. I can't be on here scrolling forever. I've scrolled a lot and there we go. Yes, I see it now. That was about 30 minutes ago, Dan Kelly. Here it is. The second tiebreaker after head to head is point differential. Teams that have a good reason, $500,000 each to run up the score, are New York, Milwaukee, Sacramento, Denver, and New Orleans, Orlando and Chicago, and the Lakers. So Lakers team total over definitely seems live. Definitely seems like the play. Appreciate everybody in the chat. We're putting this together piece by piece. Piece by piece. Appreciate you, Itachi. I seen you putting it in here. And people saying they screenshot the chat. Dexter, what's going on? Says like button smash. Appreciate you, bro. I'm pretty sure I'll get there with the Lakers team total over. That makes too much sense to me. And they've already, you said that they care. So 116, I'm gonna put it. I prefer that over the Portland and Lakers over. I'll just do Lakers by themselves. All right. Let's move over to the last game on the board, which will be, we've been on here for an hour, so it's about that time to get on out of here. This is 541, 542. Houston and the Clippers. This one opened up Clippers -6. They're now 7.5 point favorite. Total opened up 217. And we're looking at as high as 219. 218.5 is the consensus right now, though. Injury report: Thompson out, Oladipo out. For the Clippers, Brandon Boston out, Mason Plumlee out. This one I felt like was pretty interesting. We talked about this one on the show yesterday with Dutch, Babano, and Wham. We did a look ahead to today, and this was a game we started with. I feel like, if I remember correctly, everybody likes the Rockets. Few more people that I respect like the Rockets, and that's what I was expecting. The Rockets, everybody liked the Rockets. I mean, they've won what, 5 in a row, right? Um, they have they haven't played since the 12th. Um, everybody's gonna like the Rockets here. The Clippers haven't won since James Harden has been in the lineup. Blah 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 blah. Everybody likes the Rockets. So the question I would ask everybody is, why would this line open up Rockets +6? As good as the Rockets have been, plus margin on the season is like +5.2. Why would they open up as an underdog here? They have the rest advantage. Why would they open up as an underdog? The Clippers have a +1.5, differential, and haven't won since Harden is there. I feel like that's pretty telling for the line to be like that. So that's number one. The reason I think why it makes sense to me is because this Rockets team, they may have won 5 in a row, but all those games they were winning were at home. They're 0-2 so far on the road. They've had what, 4 days rest? I mean, we always talk about this all the time, but you can make the argument at that point when you have 4 days plus, is it rest or is it rust? Which one is it going to be? And I feel like they potentially can come out here looking rusty as well, as well as not winning on the road. So a combination of those things. And then I ask myself, what's going to change for this Clippers team? Um, I feel like a lot can change. And we've heard a few announcements already this morning. But the main thing that stood out to me is, they've had 2 days rest. When teams have days to rest like this during the season, they don't get a hell of a lot of them. But when they do get those chances, it gives them a chance to, fix whatever was going wrong, work on those kind of things, and get back on track. Clippers finally have the chance to do that. What do they decide to do? Westbrook comes out and says, bring me off the bench. He thinks it'll work better for the team. And I agree. I mean, when they made this trade, I'm like, how's it going to work? You have two really ball dominant guys. Uh, you can't tell either one of them to just go play off ball. They're not going to be, as effective as they should. So they put Terrence Mann in the starting lineup today and bring Russ off. And I think that's going to help both the bench and the starting lineup tremendously. I don't think there'll be too much drop off if you have Harden playing a point on the starting lineup and then Westbrook also man in the second unit. I think that's a really good way to do things. And I think this is the first game that the you know, Clippers flex their muscles. It's also a spot for Harden, a spot for Westbrook to get a little bit of get back versus their old team in the Rockets. So I like the Clippers here, -7.5. I think that's the right side in this game. If I'm going to take any props, I think this is the day where you play on James Harden. I didn't look at his numbers, but I would be looking at his assists. I would be looking at his points. I mean, he wanted to go to Houston and they didn't want him. I think James Harden's going to show out in this game. I honestly do. I think this is the game where he really puts it together and has a big game. So I will bet on him. Let's take a look and see what the chat likes. Just talking for a while. I'm gonna have to scroll up a little bit here. Let's see. Let's see. Let me see. Steve says Clippers are teetering on a win, but he doesn't like the spread. Brian says, what have the Clippers done to be favored by 7.5? Don't you think that's pretty telling, Brian? Why would they put him on that? Who are they begging you to take in that game? Who are you running to the window to take? when the Clippers are favored by 7.5. Next, Betts agrees. Rest to bench is interesting. Mr. Money says fade the Clippers. I hate the Clippers. I do. I really do. But I do pretty good betting on them, I feel like. Just because, maybe because I narrow down when I actually think that they're really, 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 really should win. But I feel like I have pretty good luck with the Clippers. Rick White says best bets for today. Houston at the half, -5. Is that college again? Or who is that? You have to remind me. Utah team total under 61.5 against Houston. So Houston's playing again today? I didn't even look at college basketball too close. But I'll be looking at the team total under. First half, you guys always know it's like an auto play for Houston for me. I already explained why I like it. So good look on that, Rick White. I'll take a look when I get off of the show for college basketball because I didn't get to it yesterday. Joey says, careful, you're not going to come in and hype these Rockets up. He's over there with UCAPA right now, so I'm safe. Everything is safe right now. Saturated says, so doesn't Sengun smash Zubac? I never want to talk anybody off of Sengun. I'm a big fan of his, so I may be too much of a fan. I just always think he's going to have a big game. Dan Kelly says Clips are already knocked out of the in-season tournament, so this will be interesting to see if a normal regular season game is just as important as. The difference is at the end of the game, Houston will win every point they can get, whether they win or lose. Clips just want to win. Interesting. I think this game matters a lot to the Clippers. Every game matters to them right now. They're embarrassed. So we shall see. Good call out though. Matt Porter played the first quarter under 54. Both teams average under this number in the first quarter. Both top 10 defensive rated. Rockets play slow. Clippers play with some pace. But their effective field goal percentage is bottom 5. Appreciate you sharing that, Matt Porter. My boy Razor in the chat says Gulfstream Park is on today. What am I betting NBA for? Do I see these prices? Hey, is it sloppy today or what? If it's sloppy, you might get me out there. I love to slop at Gulfstream. That's when you really get those bombs coming in, and I'm pretty good at picking them. So shout out to my boy Razor. He might even be doing a horse racing show right now. Probably is. But shout out to my boy Razor. Make sure you check him out. A couple more comments. Let's take a look. 7-game losing streak versus 6-game winning streak, but the losing streak is favored by 7. Line is definitely telling something. I mean, they don't just give away money. That's just how I feel. They don't just give away money. They will try to bait you. I do think that. Everybody doesn't agree with that, but I do. Let's see. See, Boogie says, I noticed the spreads have been covering and the favorites has been winning with the in-season tournaments. Houston can cover. Udaya says trifecta Clippers. I kind of felt that way, but I didn't bet it. I did feel that way. I did kind of agree. All right, I think we did pretty good. We got through every game here. Every game in the NBA. Mr. Ravino touched on a college football game. You can go check out his college basketball show with Wager Talk after we end right here, right now. So I do have a list of plays. I am going to be making some. It's about that time where I give best bets. So I like to give best bets. Let me put that up there. About that time for the best bets, or best bet rather. But I like to give a number, where it didn't really move too much, where I can give you the same thing that I took. So I am also going to promo all of my work, just as Rob said, can be found on wagertalk.com. Both his and myself. Our link is in the description to our profile, so you can check it out. And I have big plays today. I have a 4%, I have a 3%. Everything available at wagertalk.com if you would like to be involved there. Best bet for this show. And they've been pretty damn good. We cashed again yesterday. I really enjoy and really like talking these things out with you guys. Best bet for this show. The more I thought about it, the more I like it. I'm in between a few. I really like a lot. I'm going to be adding a lot here. But I think the play that I have to make here Let me just glance back at my sheet just to remind myself. It makes too much sense. It makes too much sense. Best number you can get right now, market has already moved it down 1 point. Best number you can get is 215.5. I know I'm going against Dan Kelly. I don't like doing it, but I'm going to be making this play. And I like it a lot. The more I look at it, I like it. It makes too much sense. Like I said, top 10 defensive rated teams, both teams bottom 10 shooting the three, 22nd and 18th in pace last 5 games. It's a tournament game. You may get a little bit of extra defensive intensity. Missing one guard for the Magic could potentially miss another one in Suggs. That will hurt the offense. DeRozan is game time decision. If he misses in this one, hurts the offense. Too many reasons, too many ways that I see for this game to get under the total. So Orlando and Chicago under 220. I'm sorry, apologize. Orlando, Chicago under 215.5 will be the best bet for the show. Like I always say, this show is absolutely nothing without the chat. Dwight asked what I mean 4%. You split your bankroll into percentages. Percentage is the same as units. But like I always say, the show is absolutely zero without the chat. You guys make the show what it is. So I just want to make sure I tell you guys every single time that I appreciate you. Boofy says everyone click the live so Skee can continue. Click the like so Skee can continue to do this daily. Yeah, if you guys appreciate the show, if I'm helping you make some money, hit the like as it does help me out. This is the best chat in sports betting. Best chat on YouTube. I really enjoy. I really love doing this with you guys. I just really want to make that clear. So shout out to y'all. Best of luck on all your action. Good luck on everything this weekend. If we're getting a little bit more 3 weeks plus into the season, the more systems will start to pop up, and we'll have system Saturday, system Sunday, and I'll see if anything populates. If they do, I'll put it up there for my members. I'll have something for you later today, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.